All right, hello everyone. Here we are setting up for hole number 3, expert tournament. I'm going to go Kingmaker. I'm going to go probably QB. That's usually what I do here. Distance is not really too important off the tee. Now, having just a little bit more topspin does help. So hopefully you guys have like QB 10s would really be beneficial here. However, it's not a deal breaker. We're just going to kind of put ourselves a little bit towards max range a little bit more, but it's going to be a lot safer to play this with quarterback than it is Thor's Hammer, Extra Mile. You can see that the inner ring at the top of the fairway there pretty much is consumed entirely by just a one ring pull. So, you know, with just one ring on an Extra Mile or a low level APOC or whatever, even Thor's, it can get a little bit, you know, the rings are just a little bit too large. When you can put on the QB and not have to power, you can see we got a tailwind here. And there you can see my opponent flies over the fairway, not anticipating how much it is downhill. So what we're going to try to do is, well, hopefully, you know, catch a little bit better drive than that. You can see I almost have 4 topspin. It is going to be enough. I'm just going to have to kind of visualize this shot a little bit. So what I'll typically do is I'll aim over towards the edge of the fairway. What this is going to do when you curl it is it's going to actually make it pull back towards the center of the fairway a little bit more. So here you can see the curl that I'm applying. You can see the overpower that I'm applying as well. And of course, my great ball is not going to deflect as much as my opponent's does. So here you can see we get it up here, you know, about half overpower or something just before it really starts to get shaky and a fast needle. And you can see that we're up there plenty. So, you know, you can back off that power if you have a QB10. You won't even have to use that much. You could land less aggressively towards the top of that fairway and be able to pull this shot off. So you'll see that quarterback is the club for this one. That's the way that I played it in the Royal Open, and that's the way that I play it here too. So it's a very safe, easy shot. One of the things that you got to be aware of is your curl. So when you curl that ball, it is going to deflect more towards the right. It also is it's going to over carry. So let's say, visually speaking, that 7 wind probably lands about 10, probably 11 rings downwind. So, you know, you got to make sure that you're accommodated and looking kind of out in that space to where it's essentially like 11 rings of a play for that 7, which is like a kind of like a time and a half. So here you'll see what I'm doing. I'm starting about 3 rings from the edge, right towards the top of this shadow. This is typically how I do it, right around 3 and right towards the top of this shadow. You can see I'm towards max club, so I'm definitely going to use much closer towards the max ring adjustment. I'm going to go 8 rings here. Perfect ball. Let's just see how this works out. So you can see it lands right around the base of that shadow. It's coming over towards the hole, rolling down and just missing. So if you can get that adjustment just tweaked, again, it is very, very hard to shot replicate and get it to move, you know, just fractions of an inch over towards the left. That fairway that it's hitting on the second hop is a curved fairway. Also note that I was keeping that second hop towards the rough and accommodating for the tailwind going to expand that guide out. So do make sure that you're not being too aggressive with that second hop. So really go back and watch what I did there so you can make sure that you're doing it just the way that I am if you're going to want to play that second shot with some consistency. What I do is I pretty much put it in the top edge of that rough and then just keep in mind that it's going to expand out. You can also see that I pretty much used the max ring adjustment. I wasn't using my notebook. Again, you know, there's a lot of people who think that, you know, it's needed. It's very resourceful for me. But what it was designed for was for players who are of less caliber, to help them elevate their game more so than it is to help me. I can do it either or. And there's plenty of content on my channel from, you know, well before secondary apps even existed. So, but you can see that this 7.6 is right around 7.8, and I went right around 8.0. It's somewhere between 0 and 5% of an over adjustment, and it's not because, so that shot actually is uphill, but what happens is it's a straight tailwind, so I'm just kind of, you know, kind of neutralizing those a little bit. So if it's 15% over hill, but we have an overplay because it's a straight tailwind, you know, they kind of cancel each other out, more or less, is what you see happening on that shot. I always play it very close to the 1-to-1 ring adjustment, very close to that max ring number. So I would recommend you guys doing similarly. So hopefully you guys can hone in on that technique there, and towards the weekend you guys will have very good success with that hole. Good luck, and I will see you guys on the next one.